Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Circuit of the Americas, the very jingoistically named Texas track near Austin in the United States of America. Unfortunately, I'm joined by Alex Foulkes, who's already disappointed with my intro, but I will say, very interesting track. This one is one of the newer Herman Tilke drones and should provide some good action, especially towards turn one, with the very wide hairpin and uphill braking zone providing plenty of opportunity for overtaking. Hello, Alex.
Hi. Please never do that again. That was absolutely horrible.
Which bit?
All of it. You know, I shouldn't need to explain, but yeah, like you say, this is like Tilke's magnum opus, where it is a combination of literally every good thing about a Tilke track in one track, and yeah, we've got a decent circuit. Like, I hate to say it, but one of the decent Tilke tracks that we actually use is in the Americas. So yeah, I mean, we have Jeddah this year, which I like, but people don't for some reason.
I don't even know if Tilke designed Jeddah. I mean, it's very like determined by the street layout, isn't it? Whereas at least Kota is a custom build, if you like. It's certainly nice to be back here. We haven't been here since 2021 in GPVWC. And the last time we were here, we were still in the throes of COVID. These days, not so much of a problem. So enjoy this evening. I do, however, have a sore throat. Pretty sure I do have COVID. So I'll try to keep my talking to relevant facts only, and not so much nonsense and dribble as we are normally used to, I suppose, Alex.
This is boring. So I have to be the useless person.
You said I normally am.
Never. What? No. I would never mean that, Toby. Not once.
Couple of penalties to clear up from the last round at Singapore. Danny van der Neet has been banned for the rest of the season, and actually the first round of 2025 as well. Good. We're also getting a couple of penalties. So we've got Junio Lopez has been involved, obviously, in a couple of incidents as well. He's got quite a big grid penalty for this round, as has Mika Hikimi, who's got 10 place grid penalty as well, so won't be right at the sharp end. I'll tell you one person who will, and that's Mateusz Majka, championship leader. Looking at him now.
Yeah, and from what I've been told, that is not the fastest that Sector 1's going to get, with the 29.2, and there we go. There's Prachika Magnussen with a 29.169 fastest in the first sector. I was told before the race that this is about just as quick as it's going to get in Sector 1. We're going to be looking at 29.1s, whose Magnussen actually has been beaten a little bit by Loic Meunier as well in the first sector, but for the most part we're looking at about 29s in the first sector. So yeah, I've been told, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, by the person we're watching currently, that we're looking at 50.4 in qualifying, so I'll be quite interested to see whether that's true or whether I was being lied to by the Icelandic man on the screen.
Well, we'll see. I mean, obviously Magnussen's pretty rapid, Meunier as well. Majka is on a pretty decent banker lap too. Let's see what happens as we cross the line, whether we get towards those mid-50s or not, as Magnussen comes through the final corner and stays well within that curb, crosses the line 51.0 as his opening lap. Majka just less than a tenth behind, and Meunier slots into P2, 3,000ths back of Magnussen's time. A reminder, this is private qualifying, so if you're new to the series, not sure what's going on, everyone's out on track at the same time, but they can't see one another or therefore interact with one another. It's basically, imagine 30 different universes simultaneously running qualifying. That's effectively what we've got going on here. Extrana deputizing at Smile Power last time. He's in Cap Clay vehicle this time around, 52.2 for him.
Yeah, for the most part, this is going to be an interesting circuit to race on. I just want to talk about this as well, where we've got quite a few nice overtaking opportunities as the first couple of banker laps are coming in. of course, that massive turn one, look at how wide it is and how uphill it is. So late braking, very much possible here, and this will be one of the prime overtaking opportunities on the track with a nice little, I don't know if it's a DRS zone. I think it's a DRS zone. Is it a DRS zone?
Which DRS zone? Which one?
On the main straight. It feels like it should be.
I think it probably is, yeah.
It is, yes. So, yeah, it's a DRS zone, so you are able to overtake there. And Bobby Vakanov, sorry, that is Philip Savinsky going fastest in the first sector. And Bobby Vakanov doesn't even drive for Scuderia Freccianara, so I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, I have no idea where I got that from, to be completely honest with you. Wow, random. But yeah, for the most part, this track is hairpin, straight, a few curves, hairpin, straight. So quite a few overtaking opportunities here, there, and just about everywhere.
Every Tilke track that's ever been made is kind of like that. You've got like some series of S's early in the lap, a couple of hairpins onto long straights, and then like a couple of fast corners towards the end of the lap.
Yes, that is an apt description of a Tilkedrome, and it definitely reigns true here at the Circuit of the Americas. And last time we were here in 2021, we did see a double race victory by Jake Denahan. So
he ended up being pretty good, didn't he?
We'll see that again. You know, Micah could take pole, or Magnussen could even do it, provided that a reverse grid is somewhat low, or maybe they just fight through the field. No one knows. You know,
Denahan proved to be pretty good, didn't he? Like he ended up winning the title that season in Formula Sprint 2. I think he was probably P3 or 4 in Formula Sprint 1 in 22, but ended up winning the 2023 Super League title. And then this year has not been racing in the GPVWC career ladder at all. Oh yes, he did do Spa FS1. Why did he do that? Probably could have done with having the defending champion in Super League, but there we go. He's chosen to race elsewhere this season. Patrick Magnussen and Micah, those two fighting over the championship. It's kind of 10 points, I think, is the separation. Magnussen's behind Micah. Of course, Magnussen, winner, first race, last time out at Singapore, ended up P4 in race 2, with Micah taking 2 second places. Micah has not been off the podium since Silverstone. He's been much more consistent. In fact, P2 seems to be his favoured finishing position. Mounier is there to cause some havoc in amongst the title fighters. If he can for Apex. He's been in and out of the series this season so far, but a very, very fast driver in his own right. He got double race win at Canada himself, and also one at Azerbaijan and Spa. Here is Magnussen then on another flying lap. Very, very exciting series of corners, these S's. Plenty of opportunity to exceed track limits as well. It's quite tricky to get every single one of them right, but Magnussen, right on the edge of adhesion as he exits that final part of the S's and down towards the hairpin onto the long back straight.
Yeah, that might have been just out of the white lines as Micah improves significantly in the first sector, 29.0 for him. And here we go on to the big back straight. It's not even that long. It's pretty intermediate in terms of straight length when it comes to the GPVWC calendar. But it feels like a long time to get down there. It's about 20 seconds of flat out driving to get from that hairpin to this hairpin. And Micah is really improving in that second sector, 45.806. Magnussen nowhere close on the lap that he's currently on. So this for Micah is looking very strong unless a mistake is made in this final sector. And for realistically, this is the only corner you can make a mistake in. The fast sweeping triple apex right-hander, and then this one little left turn for Micah where you can exceed track limits, and probably will happen at some point on a decent qualifying lap for someone. But across the line, it is 50.867 for Micah, and Magnussen, I believe, was not able to improve on his lap time that time out, and does get beaten by Loic Meunier. And yeah, that's almost a 1.3 tenth gap. No, that's not how that works. Yes, it is. It might be. I don't know. Toby, are we alive? Are we down?
Sorry, yes, I'm just. You were like at the end of it. I thought you were going to correct yourself and then didn't say anything.
Correct myself?
Yeah, you were like, is that how it works? Alexander Gonzalez Gree. There's a lot of triple-barreled names going on recently. We've also got Aka Tom Pad, who I believe is probably Dutch. Looking at that name, is driving for GPVWC Academy as well. Michael Falkenhayn in P4, by the way, for Reading Game. It's a good lap. Certainly no sign of the 50.4s that Patrick Hill was talking about before the race with you, Alex.
Yeah, I think that was a lie. I'm going to go with yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Although, yeah, it could be possible. It could have just been on the wrong real road or whatever, and, you know, driver excuses.
I think we're a couple of tenths at least away from that. I mean, Micah's lap looked pretty good, and he's done an 8.67, so I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, qualifying is qualifying. It doesn't really matter in the end. It's just whoever is quickest. There you go. Will Buxton commentary. Oh, Micah, that is not optimal. Probably don't go off there. And I think that is showing very nicely how the curbs around this circuit sort of ruin your lap if you touch them in the wrong way. Here's Junior Lopez, who does have a penalty. I think it was a post-race penalty, though. Correct me if I am wrong.
Oh, let me have a look. I will have a look. What did Lopez get a penalty for? He got hits the rear of Scapelli twice in turn 10 braking zone, 30-place grid penalty for it.
Oh, wow.
Race. Yeah.
So 30-place grid penalty. So the qualifying position, not really too significant.
Yeah, Lopez is going to be back of the grid, yeah, unfortunately for him. We do have Mike Bell had a couple of penalties as well for various things. But anyway, here's Tom Tom Pad. I wonder what nationality they are.
It sounds very Dutch.
It does, doesn't it?
Look at that transition. That was perfect.
Shows how they're in different universes. Here's Magnussen on a flyer. Plenty of curb being used through the S's as he flies on another lap. Let's see how he's done. He's 10th and a half down in the first sector. But the first sector is basically just like a couple of corners. So see how he does in the middle sector now. Heading towards the long back straight. KV86 machine exits the hairpin. Nice and early on the power. And down at the long straight he goes. No DRS in Formula Sprint 2, if you're new to the series. There is in all of the other series in GPV.
Apart from Academy.
Yes, apart from Academy. But all the other career ladder ones above this do have DRS. If you want to get started in GPVWC, head over to the website. The Academy series is the first one. It's open to everyone. You can just tip up and race if you like. And then Formula Sprint 2 and on above, there are teams involved. So you have to actually get signed by a team in order to be able to race. Here's Eunice Carrallo, who's driving for Priority 1 Esports, as he has done all season, which is Craig Patterson's team. I wonder if he's got a final Williams livery surprise for us before the season's over. Is anyone on a good lap? I don't really... Magnussen's done a purple middle sector actually on this lap. He did lose a 10th and a half in the first sector, so let's see whether he can improve as Gillette returns in his P9 for Hunter Birch. See Magnussen as he comes towards the end of his lap. Just see whether he can improve. Oh, he's lost 20 seconds in the final sector. Okay, so he abandoned that lap and has gone again. This will be his final go.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems like he should have come over the line quite a while ago if he was still pushing to improve that lap, but it is showing that he does have the pace to potentially displace Micah at the top of the timing screen, provided he can get that lap hooked up and slidey through those first couple of S's, but it is ever so slightly loose on the rear end, and I think that's a lap over for Magnussen.
Yeah, the rear's overheated quite early in the S's, and he's just lost them. So unfortunately, Magnussen will not improve on this lap. Unfortunately for him, anyway. Mounier is pretty slow in the first sector. I think Micah is not going to improve either. So we're looking at Damacaratco goes P12 for Hunter Birch. This is Brody Lawless coming into the hairpin for 0-1. See whether Brody's been in and out of a couple of different teams this season so far. He's been in the GPVWC Academy team as well. Let's see what Brody can do as he's head through the middle sector. 6/10 lost has not been his finest middle sector there by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see what he can do in the final few corners. Falkenhayn has done a personal best first sector. I don't know if he crossed the line in time. He may have done. And is not improved on the middle sector. Lawless runs out of road anyway, so this lap won't count. Kasper Koritz moves himself up to P5. I don't think anyone else is on a lap, really. Josh Flynn is improving, down in 20th for Team RNG. Here's Falkenhayn. He's only fractions off in the middle sector. I assume he did just cross the line in time to be able to get this in, so let's see whether Falkenhayn can do anything here. He's possibly not going to. He's already best part of 3/10 off, and yeah, he does not improve. His position does improve his time.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter anyway. Humorously, Mike Bell in 28th did get the purple final sector. Somewhat handicapped by the rest of his lap, I would say. Oh, that middle
How's
sector.
he done that?
I have no idea how he's managed, but fair enough to him.
2/10 faster than anyone else in the last sector.
Bizarre, but
It's not like he's got a long straight and he's running no wing. That's very, very odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Micah does take pole. Mounier second. Patrick Magnussen P3 and Mikhail Falkenhayn P4. Kasper Koritz P5 with Craig Patterson, Junio Lopez, Karala, Mika Hakimi, and Joe Gillette rounding out the top 10. 11th is Ben Skinner, Magnus Ockenau 12th. Damir Karatko in 13th place with Brody Lawless and Bobby Vakuanov in P15. Eric Strana, Svilo Youngstra, Gonzalez Gree, and Flynn rounding out the top 20. Behind them is Philip Travinsky with Kanaya, Lepit, Tom Part, Caitlin Penny, Josh Dexter, Mike Bell, Sentievich, and Victor Silva rounding out the field.
There's two more.
Oh, is there? Oh, my bad. Bjorn Golder and Kanda rounding out the field. I forgot there was 32. I forgot there was 32, not 30, and my brain scrambled. Sorry about that.
Half a job, Toby Davis.
Yeah, listen here. Half a job? I don't think so. I only missed 2 out of the 32.
All right, if we're being, facetious, we'll say
are we being
93.75% of a job, Toby Davis.
Did you really just do that calculation?
Well, I put 30 divided by 32, and
well done.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
I wish you were a good commentator, 93.75% of the time. That would be good.
Ow! Just ouch.
It's warm up. What should we talk about today, Alex? Texan cuisine.
I mean, you've got barbecue. Really have much else.
Chili is the official state dish. Thank you very much. Texas is known for its variation of chili con carne. Texas chili is typically made with hot peppers and beef. It's sometimes served with pinto beans, either as a side dish or in the chili itself.
I see. Is this what we're doing? We're going to get Texas fun fact. That's what we should do. Texas fun fact.
You're right about beef barbecue. Pork. Ooh, I'm hungry.
Did you not just eat before this?
Yeah, I had like a lasagna.
Oh, get out of here.
But I would absolutely smash a steak and beef brisket thing covered in barbecue sauce right now.
Stop it.
They know how to
Oh.
eat, don't they, Americans?
Yeah, they're very good at it. And
Yeah.
oh, the state insect of Texas is the monarch butterfly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's interesting, you know. You would think, oh, maybe, you know, something to do with cowboys, like buffalo. No, that's. Why would it be buffalo? That's Midwest. Whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. That's like further northwest, isn't it, than Texas? I don't understand. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I've never been to America, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Vincent Gutt has. Where did you go? New York, Vegas, and the Grand Canyon.
So you didn't go to America, you just went to tourist destinations.
Well, I mean, New York is defo America, and so is Vegas, and so is the Grand Canyon. So,
well, they're in America, but like,
I would say if you went to like Disney World or
true.
Disneyland, sorry. Did you know Brazil is America as well? There we go.
Right.
We're out the
United
circuit
States
of.
of
I did.
America.
Yeah, the US. I mean, it can be commonly abbreviated to such. I watched a Map Men video on YouTube about why America is called America. I'm not sure. I can remember though. Where's it from?
Right. I'm just gonna Google this one.
Why is it called America? It's probably some bloke named America or something.
The name America comes from the Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci. Yeah.
Because his name was actually Americus, which is the Latin version.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And the name was coined by a German map maker called Martin Waldseemüller. That is his name.
It's why we've got South and North America, though.
Well, yeah, because one is in the southern hemisphere and one's a northern hemisphere.
I mean, they are linked. It is technically one landmass.
Yeah, but they're still...
Panama has a canal in it, doesn't it, right? But I think they're still one landmass, technically.
Well, no, because they're not connected.
Well,
I mean,
no, but that's
bridges of land.
man done that, right? It is one landmass. We just built a canal through the middle of it. Alex is laughing because Vince just said if you cut off your hand, it's not connected to your body anymore. But I think honestly, that's terrible. I mean, there's a bridge over the two, right? So therefore, they're connected again. So
But a bridge isn't land.
I'd argue it is made of land.
Okay, but wouldn't call it land, would you?
Well, I wouldn't say they're not connected.
Like-
I mean, they only not connected because we put a canal in the middle.
Would you say Africa and the Middle East are connected then?
Well, yeah, but you've got the Nile in the way. I mean, the Suez Canal you're on about, right?
Yes.
The Suez Canal. Yeah, they're connected. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, Suez is next to the Nile. You're absolutely right. But either way, they're still connected. It's just because we've built a canal through the middle doesn't mean they're not connected anymore.
By this logic, everything was all connected at some point because of
It
Pangea.
was called Pangea, yeah.
So it's just all connected. Right now, it's all connected.
Is North and South America connected? Yes. North and South America are connected by the Isthmus of Panama, a narrow strip of land that formed about 3 million years ago. That's what I think to you. Defo connected. Just because we put a river over the top doesn't mean it's not.
Canal.
Canal, whatever. Panama is the connecting point between the two continents. They're defo connected.
Okay. You believe your Google conspiracy theories?
But they literally, quite literally are.
Says who?
Says Google.
Is Google the authority on whether two continents are connected?
by this logic, we could find other places where things aren't connected anymore, I suppose.
Yes.
Well, but there's like a massive bit of sea between the two. Like between the UK and Europe, there's a giant bit of water called the English Channel that's not man-made. I can hear you, Vincent, but I'm not going to say it on stream because you're wrong.
But if a canal means they're connected, why does the Eurotunnel not connected? So.
Because it's man-made.
So is a canal.
Look, you didn't allow me bridge because you said, does it count as land? The UK is on the same continental plate.
I mean, there was a land bridge about a few million years ago, if you want to count that. Yeah, 10,000-ish. Yeah.
Vince is very involved in this conversation. It's a shame you can't hear him. You should really unmute yourself for this, Vince, to be fair. He's just said no.
Then he'll forget to mute himself.
Yeah, I know, and he'll start swearing during the broadcast like he normally does and calling out different drivers. Honestly, you're so bad during the broadcast, Vince. It's impossible to work with you sometimes. all the continents are connected, albeit underwater, says someone in the YouTube chat. I know who you are. But by the way, I love that we're just watching Falkenhayn do laps at this point.
This is a podcast. It's not Formula Sprint 2 commentary. It's
I do think
podcast.
I do think it's embarrassing that the Americans decided to name this track the Circuit of the Americas, like it's encompassing all of South America. Mm-hmm. Completely forgets like tracks like Interlagos that were built 40, 50 years before.
Montreal.
Yeah. Jacaranda, Buenos Aires.
Yes, yeah.
Mexico City. That came around before this. Did you say Vegas? That
Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace. Okay, yeah, Caesar's Palace. I mean, I would argue that wasn't really a racing track either. It was just built in the car park of Caesar's Palace, which tells you how big America is, by the way. That they managed to make a racing circuit in the actual car park. What else have we got in America?
Watkins Glen.
Phoenix, Watkins Glen. Sebring, was Sebring ever around?
Before Kota? Definitely.
I have F1. I know it was around as a circuit, but
we've surely been to Sebring as F1, right?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Once, 1959.
Yes. So definitely been there before, just a while ago.
Oh yeah, of course, Indy.
Of course. How can you forget that one?
American circuits using F1. Detroit.
Yep. I was just about to say that.
You're not live on the broadcast, Vince.
Yeah, we're
Oh, Dallas, of course. The 1984 Dallas round. That was the Dallas round's where Martin Brundle broke both his legs.
Crash. I wouldn't count Miami though. Daytona? No, there's no way F1's been to Daytona, right?
No.
No way.
For surezies. I think we've got them all. Long Beach?
Hold on. I have something quite funny to send you, Toby. I think Google is a little...
What have you sent me here? No, it didn't.
But this is the AI overview.
The AI overview is that the first round of the F1 Championship was held at Daytona in 2022. I don't think so. Oh dear. AI is not taking over the world just yet. Good 10 years though. We'll be out of a job. It'll be a AI version of our voice commentating on the Formula Sprint 2.
Yeah, but
probably
they
be
could
fun.
never have the personality.
No, but they'll probably be funnier.
Yeah, that until it slips a funny word in there, and then all of a sudden it becomes unfunny.
Road Atlanta 93? I don't think so. 93 we did. I don't think there was a. I don't think there was an American race in 1993. 93 F1 season. Where did we go? Kyalami was the first round. Nope, no American race in 93. Back when we had 16 rounds, just like in GPV.
Yep, because F1 was very comparable to GPV.
Oh, it's the same standard.
Arguably worse.
I don't know, there were some pretty rubbish F1 drivers in the early 90s.
Exactly.
Some
I'm saying that F1 is arguably
absolute
worse.
shockers. Yeah. Luca Badoa, for example. Who is Fabrizio Barbaza? AGS and Minardi, 91 and 93. Never heard of him.
Did you just Google worst?
Worst F1 drivers. Worst
Yes.
F1 drivers. I mean, there was there's a couple, wasn't there? There's Delatraz.
That's a stretch, but
Yuji Ide.
yes, without a question.
David Walker at Lotus in 1972. Best result was 9th. That's the same year that Emerson Fittipaldi, his teammate, won the championship.
Hmm.
Kind of tells a story there, doesn't it? A bit like Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez this season.
They still won't get rid of him, though. That's the thing.
I don't really get that. I don't understand why Perez has still got his seat, to be honest.
He shouldn't, but
He's 8th in the championship right now. No wins. He's got less than half of Verstappen's points.
does he even have a how many podiums does he have this season? It doesn't feel like he's had many, if any.
Good question. He has been terrible this season. Absolutely terrible. He's had a few podiums. Bahrain, Saudi, Japan. That's it. Oh, China.
So, yeah, if it wasn't for money, I think Ricciardo should have had that nice little cushy RB seat. But
Really?
yeah, I think Ricciardo is the only driver that's available that has experience to drive in Red Bull.
Colapinto.
Yeah, but then you'd be stealing from Williams, and then they'd
Williams
have
have
to
got
deal
two
with
drivers
Sergio
next year.
Perez.
Nah, Williams have got 2 drivers next year. They've got Sainz and they've got Albon. So,
Yeah, but they don't. I'm talking for the rest of the season in 2024.
well, Perez will keep his seat for the rest of the season for sure.
You shouldn't, but
He will, but the thing is, what happens next season? I would like to see Colapinto get a seat somewhere. To be fair,
hey, Bobby,
can you believe there's
go to the
20?
pit.
Can you believe there's 24 rounds in the F1 this season? Such a bloated calendar.
Yeah. And I bet if Nigel Mansell in the early 90s was driving this season, he still wouldn't finish that many races. He had a horrible start to the 90s. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it was 9 races out of 30 something or 36 that he finished.
Really?
Yeah, it was a awful start to the 90s for Mansell before he won his championship.
The Ferrari gearbox, wasn't it? He won his first race. He basically, in '89, he finished on the podium or retired.
Yes. This is just I was thinking about. Of every race he finished, he was on the podium or won, but he didn't finish that many races.
Yeah, it's the Ferrari gearbox. I think he turned up at Brazil for the first round. I think that was it. Yeah, it was at Jacarapagua, and they hadn't managed to complete more than 30 laps in testing, before the gearbox broke. Yeah, he ended up winning the winning the race. But of course, he
Toby.
couldn't like. What?
I'm getting sick of watching the car go around the track after warm-up has ended like 2 minutes ago.
I know. I don't understand. It does take them a while. Mansell won so many races in '92 as well. By the way, he either finished first, second, or retired in that season. Ridiculous. Shows how far ahead the car was.
Oh, race! Finally! Woo!
Yes,
so
I'll let you
happy.
do the grid.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, so cars, grid, formation lap. We talk about the grid order, then we go racing for 14 laps. Then we finish the race. Then there's a reverse grid where a certain number of cars have their positions inverted. Not 11th though. Don't finish 11th, because you'll never get pole. No, Vince. You don't understand. Were you here last race? Yes. Yeah. We ran the numbers. 11th has not been reverse grid pole once this season. So
That's pretty mad, isn't it? Go on then, Alex. Do the grid.
the grid. The grid. Matthew Schmeicher takes pole for Optimal Esports with Luke Mounier lining up behind him. Patrick Magnussen third. Michael Falkenhayn lines up fourth. On the third row, it's Casper Kuritz and Craig Patterson with his teammate behind him, Eunice Kerala, in seventh. Joe Gillette lines up in P8. Ben Skinner is P9 for Team RNG with Brody Lawless behind him in 10th. Bobby Vakanov 11th and Eric Strand lines up P12. Krista Spilo is P13 with Magnus Ockenhaug behind him. Thijs Jongstra starts 15th and Alexander Gonzalez-Gris starts 16th. Mika Hikemi is 17th after the grid penalty. Josh Flynn 18th with Philip Savinsky and Usama Nani 19th and 20th. Andrea Chinaglia is 21st with Johannes Lepit in 22nd. Tom Part in 23rd and Caitlin Penny lines up 24th. Josh Dexter 25th, Mike Bell 26th with Mihailo Vasendajevic and Victor Silva at 27th and 28th. And the last four drivers, Björn Golder 29th, Junior Lopez with his grid penalty is 30th, Dimir Karatko and Simon Kanda line up on the back of the grid. And that was pretty okay, actually. There wasn't awful names like there usually is that
Awful
trip me
names.
up. No offense to people with names
Awful
that are
names.
difficult to pronounce. Pronunciation-wise is what I mean.
Yeah, no. That's a fair point.
You're trying to villainize me for
I am doing no such thing.
exactly what you...
It's quite a long track, this, isn't it? It's taken them a while to get around the formation lap. Either that or Mike has been driving them around very slowly today.
This
But
month.
they are finally coming around to the start-finish line. So, Micah from Mounier from Magnussen at the front of the field. Let's see whether Magnussen can clear Mounier early to take the fight to his championship rival. Only 10 points in it, 25 points for a win in race 1, 20 points for second. And all the cars are now on the grid. We can just about see a set of lights, so let's see. Well, now we can't. Let's see the lights come on. Hopefully. Oh, well, we're away. We didn't get to see the lights come on. Magnussen does get a good getaway. And Micah is holding the middle ground into turn 1. Mounier has the inside line, though. Is going to make a move on Micah. Oh, nearly spins him on the exit of turn 1. But through goes Mounier on Magnussen. And Magnussen has not got by Mounier at the start, which he was hoping to do. Kuritz has made a good start up to P4 ahead of Falkenhayn. And then it's Patterson and Corrala in the priority ones. But Magnussen's lost some ground to Mounier as well, perhaps in that dirty air through the first sector. And further back, Eric Strana is in P12, battling away here with, that is Ockenhaug. Magnus Ockenhaug going through on the inside for Optiminal, and through he goes to P12 for Kuinoff ahead of them. And then you've got, a big dive, a big send from the RNG of Ben Skinner on Joe Gillette. And that was a pretty close shave, but as they go down the back straight, it is Micah from Mounier, and Koritz is in the slipstream of Magnussen. Can he do anything as they head towards the hairpin for the first time?
Well, there was a bit of contact at the previous hairpin. Of course, Kuritz on the back of Magnussen here. Michael Falkenhayn is falling back, and I think a few people at the back there lost their front wing. I think Mike Bell and Svilo were involved, and there's a further yellow in Sector 2. Bobby Vakanov drops back a little bit, and I don't think that is correct. Christos Filo is not in the lead. It is Micah leading Mounier and Magnussen, and I think this is a sub-optimal start for, as Christos Filo, a non-existent car. But yeah, it's a non-optimal start for Magnussen here, who probably would have wanted to get past Mounier and Micah. Someone's off wide. I think that was Bobby Vakanov going for an excursion into the runoff area. Yunus Corrala on the back of Joe Gillette into the first corner in that slipstream, and on this mightily long straight into the uphill braking zone, is unable to get alongside to get past, but Magnus Ockenhaug tries it further ahead and does get the move done on the 01 esports car of Brody Lawless.
Whoa.
Oh, there's two spinners there. Who's that?
Penny involved, maybe?
It's an Excellion of someone.
Kanani? Or no, it is Caitlin Penny, I think, probably. We've also lost Mike Bell. I wonder if that's of his own doing or if he's been involved in someone else's nonsense again. Sfilo is in and out of position. Yeah, Penny involved, Vicentievich involved. But Mounier's holding on to that P2. Magnussen unable to get by him. But neither of them have actually been gapped by Micah just yet. Kind of holding position at the front of the field is Magnus Ockenhaug. We're watching him. He's got Brody Lawless behind him, Ben Skinner in front. Is he close enough to make a move on Skinner? He looks like he might be able to, as further ahead, Joe Gillette is making a move on Falkenhayn. Here goes Ockenhaug down the inside of Skinner, who's turned it like he's not there. But he definitely was. Ockenhaug now on the outside, trying to go round the outside of the double right-hander. There's not so much rubber out there, and Skinner does hold on, but breaks down the inside. You can cut back on the exit of this corner with a good exit, but Ockenhaug does not have that, so unable to make his way through. Love to see what happened on that first lap if we can. I think Mike Bell was involved, judging by the fact that he is no longer in this race.
Yeah, that's probably unfortunate. I think that's what happened on lap 1. Like you said, Mike Bell just getting involved in incident after incident, it feels like. And to be honest, most of it isn't his fault at all. Svilo allegedly leads the race. I think that's going to be an interesting bug of him losing connection. Eric Strana, P13. Wonder what the position deltas are looking like. Here's a replay, I think, of that lap 1 incident. Here's Philo disconnecting, and that doesn't look great for everyone around him. Yeah. Oh. Okay. And yes, this will be what has happened in Sector 2. Josh Dexter, and I'm assuming Mike Bell, they'll make the move to the inside. Oh, Dexter onto the curb and spins round. But that looks all completely normal. Here's Penny and someone. GPVWC Academy car.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's what happened to Mike Bell. I got rear-ended by Bjorn Golder.
And what? How does that even...
Can we go on board with Golder? I mean, how long did he have to look at this?
not that long, I suppose.
Well,
But he floated on
well,
the
I
break.
don't know about that. I mean, quite clearly there was an incident ahead, and he just came piling in and smashed into the back of his
I mean,
teammate.
My actual concern is how Mike just got combusted by that touching. Who knows?
Oh, dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Is that the other accelerator, or is that Penny as well? Kanani, that one. Okay. So, yeah, not great driving from Kanani, this one. That's, well...
Intercontinental ballistic missile.
I mean, the problem is it's so wide at turn 1. You can sweep in from really, really wide and not have any visibility in your mirrors as to where someone is, which I kind of think is what happened there. Kanani obviously late on the brakes, but it's not like the car driving on the outside was ever going to see him. And it's difficult to say from that angle as to whether Kanani would have made the corner if he was driving too fast. We've got Mounier closing in on Micah, actually, I would say, this lap. Let's have a look at their lap times relative to each other last time round. Yeah, pretty similar. But certainly not getting away is Mateusz Micah. Svilo is up 4 places from the start and does appear to have sorted his internet out, so hopefully he can stay connected with a decent connection. Kanda from the back of the grid up to P20 as well. Will be fancying a chance at some points in the first race. I mean, obviously, starting that far back is always tricky, but has kept his nose clean, and he's in P20 right now. Oh, what's going on here, Alex?
Well, that's 3 wide almost between Hakimi and Lawless and Gonzalez Gris. Oh, that was close. Hakimi to the inside, bit of contact, but seems like he's going to be able to get around the outside. Whoa, so close. To the front wing of that Apex Grand Prix car, but does make the move into P15. But these are 6 cars, all waiting to take any of the scraps left by a mistake in a battle here. And I think this one will be one that goes on until the end. Here's Jonas Corrala chasing Michael Falkenhayn, who's not had the best of starts down in P7.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, there's still time left in this race. 9 laps to go. To be precise, well, 10 laps is what the race director thingy says. What is that even called? I don't know. I don't care. Jonas Corrala, once again, really
Racing
close.
director thingy.
The timing
Tower?
screen, timing tower. That's the one.
Yeah, we want the scrolly thing at the top of the screen, but we're not going to get it. Vince just went, no.
Yeah, we do
Oh,
want that one.
Corrala's very, very wide through the S's there. He's going to lose a chunk of time. He's going to be in the sights. What am I saying? Svilo's going to have him in his sights momentarily. They are heading towards that back straight, where the next available opportunity is for an overtake, I would say. This hairpin is a possibility, but you wouldn't really want to do it here. You need that long drag down the back straight, and Corrala actually has a better exit and is probably closer to Falkenhayn here than he is to Svilo, and indeed he is. And closing in on the Reading Game car. Whoa, that was close. Down the outside goes Corrala, unable to make the move this time around. And further back, Skinner and Svilo are fighting away. And actually, Svilo does hold on to Skinner. Down the inside goes Corrala. This is a late move. Oh, and by himself. Oh, the teammates have crashed. And there's a big pile up further back as well. And I think Falkenhayn and... Well, they definitely did. Falkenhayn and Svilo definitely came together. Svilo has no front wing. And Falkenhayn's going to have plenty of damage in his car as well. All by himself, though. Falkenhayn lost the rear end, just wide of the rubber. And when you're out there in the boonies, it can be done. And Svilo, there was nowhere for him to go, was there? It's such a shame.
No.
For Christos Svilo.
And that now it's essentially both the Reading Games out of contention in race 1. And all thanks to what is somewhat an unlucky incident for Falkenhayn. But it will be a race to forget for now. Unless they're able to make some magical recovery from the pit lane to a points paying position. Although I would say that's not particularly likely to happen. There's a 30-second, roughly, between the last reading game and the first points-paying position. Here's Mounier, who's fallen back in recent laps from Matusz Majka, about a 1.310. Oh, there's an apex off in the background. And that'll be Gonzalez Gris into the gravel, I think. Ooh, that's a weird one. I think they went off, stopped, and ooh, gets in the way of the Scuderia Freccianera, but seemed to avoid that incident quite well. Magnus Ockenhaug still struggling to get past Ben Skinner, late to the inside. Goes Ockenhaug, but sends himself quite out wide and astray of the racing line. Is Ockenhaug, and I think has put himself at risk to Vakanov and Tent Hakimi, who goes to the inside of Vakanov here. And that was a late braking move, but it seems like it's going to work for Hakimi, but there's still time yet. Vakanov tries to hold on the inside, but is unable to do so and is relegated down to 12th. Hakimi moves up to 11th with quite a good move from quite a while back.
Yeah, and Hakimi, I mean, he's not really shown the pace this time around, this round, actually, that we have seen from him in previous rounds. And it's not really necessarily set up. His teammates up there in P3. Hakimi's very fast on his day, isn't he? But it does appear he doesn't really do as much practice for Formula Sprint 2, or infrequently does. It's interesting. I'd like to quiz him on that, actually, see how prepared he was for this round, because I know KV86 do, on occasion, put in a lot of effort. His Ockenhaug were watching for Optiminal and his teammate in P1 as well, so kind of no rear gunners for either the championship protagonists. And it looks like pretty status quo at the front of the field as well. Patterson in P5 will be hoping for a better round than he had at Singapore. He had 13th in a DNF. He's currently P3 in the championship. And considering Mikhail Tuamala's not racing today, I think he will be hoping to hold on to that. Ockenhaug does have an outside chance of it, but no chance in this race to close on that gap. As here we go, there's almost 3 wide, but Canda's on the outside here, trying to make a move on Junior Lopez, who's also made his way through the field very well indeed. So these two creeping towards the points. It was only a couple of laps ago we were talking about Kanda when he was in P20, and both of them have the pace to close in on the cars in front of them.
Yeah, 14 positions for Lopez, and let me just do the calculation. 15 for Kanda from 32nd. So these two both on absolutely amazing runs through the field. There we go. My calculations were correct. Thank you, Vincent. Karatko as well has put up a bit of a fight as well to bring himself back up 11 positions. But like you said, at the front, it's looking pretty tame. Absolutely not really much competition. I mean, Magnussen has struggled to stay with the front two. Someone's going slowly on the inside. Shinaklia in the Friesland Racing, and that's going to sacrifice his exit all the way through the S's. He's got an Academy car and Damir Karatko now on the back of him, waiting to pick up the scraps. But ooh, that dirty air, really strong, it seems, for that Academy car. Yeah,
it's well, it's quite strong generally in GPVWC. It is in most single seaters, but obviously you want the slipstream as well, and especially in these lower powered Formula Sprint 2 cars, it is a big deal to have slipstream. And indeed, Ben Skinner in front of us is trying to break that slipstream of Ockenhaug. Looks like Skinner probably is running a little bit less wing than Ockenhaug, because Magnus is unable really to close in, but will try to do so a bit more if he does have more downforce in the tight and twisty section of the track we're in right now. And whether he can make a move remains to be seen, as Lawless goes side by side with his teammate Thijs Jongstra. They're going to make contact, and Lawless is going to be out. He's lost his front wing and somehow hasn't lost a wheel. That will be pit bound, but he is able to carry on. That was a big old hit though. And now there's a cork in the bottle in the shape of the 01 Esports driver of Tice Youngstra. And battling away is Josh Flynn for RNG, trying to go around the outside into the final corner. There is more grip on the rubber line, and he braked onto it and got the position, but Youngstra slots in behind. There is going to be a chance for him to make a move down into turn 1, or up, I should say, as they go up the hill. And through he goes, diving down the inside. This is brave from Munio Lopez, and he's going to make it work. And Lopez takes 2 in 1, but can he hold on? You see, he's on the outside there. Oh, Flynn. Now the inside, and Flynn's going to have to back out here. They're still side by side. Oh, contact. No! Oh, Lopez, Flynn's over. Oh, Flynn rolling across the track. And Lopez there bouncing across the sausage curb and smashes into Josh Flynn, who has got presumably very heavy damage.
Oh, wow. I mean, interesting racing going on there. Someone had to back out, but no one wanted to. And I think you've got the consequences of those sort of actions very well demonstrated. Here's Lopez. It'd be great to get an onboard of this, I think.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being on the inside here, but at this point you back out, and then, oh dear.
That's a bit, can't really do much then, but...
Yeah, you a bit of racing instinct tells you have to back out at that point, right? I mean, it's such a tight corner going into it.
I think the biggest miracle here is that neither of them has lost any components of their car.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... obviously they're built a little bit stronger, these FS2 cars, than perhaps some of the series counterparts higher up. Because I know if that was a Super League car, it'd be missing all its wheels by now. I'm not really sure if that's the case. What?
Mike Bell combusts from a light tap to the rear, but it's completely fine. To do multiple somersaults. Magnus Hockenhaug to the outside of Hakami.
Hakami's going to be very slow on the apex. Yeah, but just about blocked it off. Cost them both loads of time though doing that, but holds on to the position. That was very, very tight. But shows what you can do into turn 1. There's multiple lines, isn't there?
Yes, and it's definitely possible to defend out of turn 1. Oh dear. I just read Mike Bell's message. My car is made out of cheese and dynamite.
He wouldn't have to prove this every round if he didn't qualify so badly. If he turned up and did some actual practice and wasn't like in the bottom 5 every single race, he'd be fine. Mike Bell's practice is the practice session, I swear. And treating it like that is always going to be destined for failure at every round. You just need to do a bit of practice, but it can't be fun being out of the race very early on each time around. I mean, that can't be a fun way of competing.
Definitely not. Casper Kuritz as well. No Gillette up to 4th. It must be mentioned. So it's been a good race for the Hunter Birch Racing driver, who's got past Patterson and Kuritz in the time we were watching that whole kerfuffle with the car. And yes, I've just described just about everything when it comes to racing. Car, yes.
Car. Yeah. Here's Patterson. He doesn't have the race pace potentially that his teammate does. I think Corral has been closing in the last couple of laps on him, and it would appear Corral has closed in a bit. Actually, it must be said. Corral has had quite a few laps deleted though for track limits, so he must be careful. It's quite easily done though. The penultimate corner you can run wide, substantially wide anyway. I assume that's what this means. I'm looking at race-view.com, and Eunice Corral has got the first 4 laps of his race were down as in laps, which is not strictly true, but plenty of people with in laps and stuff on their lap time list, if you like, and I think that probably means they've exceeded track limits and the lap didn't count.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Hockenhaug is going to have a good opportunity on Hakami though along the straight with the slipstream. and he's just going to sit in that patch of, well, not absence of air, as you berated me for before, but less air being displaced by the car ahead to the inside, late on the brakes once more. This time, he's able to keep it within the confines of the racetrack. And
sorry, I was just gonna say, I love that the dummy to the outside, then switching back at the last minute. It's a great move, and Hakimi's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna run out of road. I love this from the pair of them. Sorry to cut across you, Alex, but that was a sick move from Magnus there.
Yeah, it was a great late braking move for Oggenhaug. Hakimi tries the same thing, but it just didn't seem to work. But he will have the nice long main straight and then the big hill at the end of it to try and make a move into turn 1. And we've got an interesting nose camera to see if that's about to happen. And Oggenhaug defends the inside. Hakimi tries to fake the outside, but has to commit, tries for the switchback and gets alongside Oggenhaug. Now into the S's. Hakimi's going to fall back though, has to take the longer line around the outside and will have to reside himself to P11 for the meantime. And there's Bobby Vakanov in the background as well, who will be someone to consider in this battle at some point. Craig Patterson now on the back of Casper Kuritz, 0.1 seconds to the inside, and gets it done, but I don't think that's going to be the greatest of choices onto this straight.
Well, what has happened is that Kuritz is not able to actually get a slipstream off Patterson, and that means Kerala, thinking better of making it 3 wide, could actually have helped a teammate there. You can do a little bit, of disrupting of the airflow by side drafting, but yeah, he didn't make the move and ended up behind both of them as a result of that. But it nearly worked for Patterson. He managed to keep Kuritz into, well, as he goes down the inside on Casper. Casper a little bit wide, holds the inside. It's good racing from quite a few drivers today, which has been nice to see. These two certainly battling away and having a good fist of it. Down into the penultimate corner we go. Easy to run right wide here in the dirty air. Both drivers ahead of us manage to stay within track limits, as does Kerala. And they go on to the start-finish straight once again. Good exit from Patterson. Can he make a move on the Casper Kuritz as they head towards turn 1 once again? We've only got a couple of laps left in this race. It looks like Micah has got it pretty much sewn up. Mounier is now back within a second as Kuritz gets very sideways through turn 1, but holds on.
Yes, very sideways, and I think that's going to be the story coming out of most of these corners now into the penultimate lap of the race. Oh yeah, there we go, sideways for Patterson again through the S's this time. He's going to fall back now off the back of Casper Kuritz, although he's made it right up once more. And I think from this perspective, Yunus Kerala is looking quite strong to pick up the scraps and pick up the pieces of this battle, potentially getting past alongside his teammate here onto the big back straight. And Kerala follows that slipstream, but I think neither of them will be close enough to make a pass, although I might eat my words by the end of this straight. Craig Patterson right on the back of the Friesland. Oh, I can't actually tell. I thought he was. Never mind. The onboard camera is oddly deceiving.
We've lost Mika Hakimi, I believe, to disconnection, because he's just vanished from the timer screens, and there's no obvious reason for that. We're about to find out now on the replay. Let's see what happened here. I'm going to assume disconnect, because I think we would have picked up a yellow flag. Yeah, see you later. That's unfortunate for Mika. Yeah, wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy. Unfortunately, a disconnection is just a nature of sim racing. Here comes Patterson then down the inside into the penultimate corner. Kuritz leaves him room. He runs wide though as a result. Patterson now down the inside, and this time around he's going to make the move again before the hairpin, and Kuritz again is going to get a slipstream down to turn 1. We're on the final war, heading on to the final lap now, and there is a priority 1 esports sandwich for Casper Kuritz as he goes down the outside this time around on Patterson, trying to hold it. He's taken too much speed. This is going to allow Kerala through, and Kerala does make the move through to P6, and Kuritz has lost 2 positions in the space of 2 corners.
Yeah, and it could be free at this point. Eric Strana on the back of them, looking to get past potentially Kuritz here, who is struggling through the first sector. And through those S's, he's not able to... Oh, he's sliding once more. Those rears are definitely cooked for Kuritz. I think he probably locks them heading into turn 1 and is now paying the price. Loses the position to Eric Strana. Look, Mounier has fallen back a little bit from Matusz Majka. And here's Eric Strana once more.
Yeah.
And,
Mounier's lost 5 seconds somewhere. Has he run out of fuel? Or is he running out of fuel? Why would you lose? Why has he lost so much time? Oh, okay, it was a mistake, apparently. Oh, here comes Kuritz back on Strana. There was no room left by Eric there whatsoever. Kuritz goes through, but Strana's going to try and hang it around the outside. This is so tight on the final lap of the race. And round the outside goes Strana and takes the position back from Kasper Kuritz. We're going to see Majka cross the line momentarily to take yet another win for Optiminal. Round 15 of the season. Race 1 goes to Matusz Majka. A great drive from him, completely in control from pole position. Well done to him. Magnussen and Mounier going to round out the podium. Magnussen's got by Mounier actually on this last lap. Out of sight of our cameras. We'll actually have to look at the replay to see what happened there. But Patterson is going to hold on. Gillette does a great job to finish P4. Patterson P5 and Kerala ahead of Strana and Kuritz, who lost 3 positions in the penultimate lap. Ockenhaug and Skinner rounding out the top 10. And we still got to fight on for P15. In fact, it's for P16, isn't it? As Tom Pat, I think, is going to miss out. He has missed out to Gonzalez Gree. And ahead of them was Chinaya, who was 15th. Karatko and Youngstra. Kanda from the back of the field and Vakun off the other points finishes. What happened to Mounier on the last lap? Well, he's already behind at this point. Oh no, this is the this is the mistake, isn't it? Behind Majka, all by himself. And then what happened? Did he just get passed down into the hairpin? I assume so. No, he's 2 corners from the end. And how has Magnussen got by?
Oh, that's how.
Like, what are you doing? A driver of Loic Mounier's standard shouldn't be doing that. Strange. Very, very strange. Two very, very silly mistakes on the last lap, and it's let Magnussen catch back up to Majka in the well, Majka extends his championship lead, but it's now only by 5 points as opposed to the 8 it could have been. Actually, who had the fastest lap? I think Majka had the fastest lap as well, so he's going to get an extra point for that. So the gap opens up by 6 points. There's now 16 points between the 2 drivers as we go into race 2. But, well, overwhelmingly a fun race to watch, that one. Majka does take it from Magnussen with Loic Mounier P3 in the end. Joe Gillette, a great drive up to P4 with Patterson and Kerala ahead of Eric Strana. Kasper Kuritz, Ben Skinner and Ockenhaug rounding out the top 10. Point scorers for Verkoinov, Kanda, Thijs Youngstra, Karatko and Andrea Kinaya in 15th place. And any one of those 5 drivers could be the reverse grid pole for race 2. It is random. Alexander Gonzalez Gree in 16th with Ek Tompat. In 17th, Junio Lopez. In 18th, Nasame Kanani and Chavinsky rounding out the top 20. And rounding out our finishes was Josh Flynn, Svilo, Silva, Lepit, Caitlin Penny, Vicentievich, Falkenhayn and Golder, DNS for Dexter, Mika Akimi. We also lost Mike Bell and Broly Lawless. Now, I did wonder if Lawless would continue or not after hitting the wall very, very hard, but he did not. So that was round 15, race 1 complete. We have another race. Race 2 will be also 14 laps, but it is a reverse grid. Let's see who will be on pole position for race 2. Alex, thoughts on race 1?
Yeah, there was an end to a race. It was one of them. I can't really say much more than that. Quite interesting, but there's nothing in the rules if that is what's happening. But nonetheless, a good race all around. A good bit of racing from just about every driver on the grid, apart from, certain incidents that, are best not mentioned, because overall it was pretty good from just about everyone. But yeah.
Yep. A lot of people in YouTube chat saying that Loic thinks that they think that Luc Mounier might have done that deliberately. Not sure. Difficult to say. I would say a driver of Mounier's standards shouldn't run that wide in the second to last corner, personally. But we'll see. See you after the race anyway.
Yeah,
we're going to have to go to a very quick.
Yep.
We're going to have to go a very quick break. We'll be back momentarily. Let's make it like 30 seconds or so, Vince. Let's do our best. I would like everyone in the YouTube chat to vote whether or not you'd like the slidey graphic for warm-up, please. I have put a message in there. We would like to see the slidey graphic make a return. It made an accidental appearance. I didn't even know about it. Vince accidentally put it on, and it was very fun for the 0.5 seconds we had it. And hopefully we get it back. I mean, let's all just pray for the slidey graphic. Honestly,
yeah, Vincent's being mean to us, and
Vincent's just going no,
ask.
just no. I personally, I think it would bring a whole new dimension to Formula Sprint 2's Race 2 to have a nice slidey graphic at the top of the screen. Can we at least see what it looks like in warm-up, please? He's still saying no.
Please.
I think if we keep saying slightly graphic enough, eventually he'll have to give in. Who wants me to time out, Toby? Lots. Oh dear.
1 like equals 1 vote for slightly graphic. Make sure to like.
Yeah, please do subscribe if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel. It's there is no graphic at all, no tower, no nothing in warm up right now. 4 minutes remaining. Vincent's
Yep.
Vincent's
Slidey.
decided not to put any graphic up at all. That was a protest. The slidey graphic's so much fun, so much fun. It looks so good. Can we just see what the slidey graphic would look like? He's still saying no. Can anyone tell me what happened at the end with P2, P3, says Daniel. Yes, it appeared that Mounier made a mistake 2 corners from the end that he really shouldn't be making. Notwithstanding his quality as a driver, but anyone on this grid really shouldn't be making that kind of an error 2 corners from the end. And it looks like Mounier has given the position to Magnussen.
P12, P12. Sorry. P12. Reverse grid P12.
Who was P12? It
Shimon
was...
Kanda.
Oh, nice. That's good. Because he started right at the back and had some pace. So this could actually be Shimon Kanda's opportunity here for a victory. But Toby and Alex with a slidey graphic are like neurodivergent people on trains. If you haven't seen the slidey graphic, you know why we'd want it. It's so good. Slides across the screen at the top of the screen. Vince is not convinced. It is. It's way better than the tower.
Oh, it's not Gonzalez Green. It's Gonzalez Green.
Well, it doesn't say. Where have you seen that?
Broadcast chat.
Oh. Has he just run out of characters?
I think so, yeah. So it's Alexander Gonzalez Green and not Alexander Gonzalez Green.
I mean, you can forgive us. That's interesting. Why has he run out of characters? Because it's not like... Surely his name's not longer than, say, Vicentievich is, right? Maybe it is.
I mean, it's it's much longer, surely.
Well, he's not on the server at the minute, so I can't even count them.
Boo! Join the server. There he is.
Here he is.
He's joined now. Yeah, that's
1, 2,
definitely
3.
longer.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 characters. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters for Vicentievich. So maybe 13 is the upper limit, which is craziness.
Yeah,
But there we go.
It's interesting.
I wonder if it's because his first name's also Alexander. If you put Alex, does he get characters back? I wonder.
Do you? Is it when you put it in? Is it one name or is it first name, last name?
Do you know what? I can't remember because the first time I put it in was the last time I put it in. Do you know what I mean? Which
Likewise.
was like 10 years ago in R-Factor 2. I've never really felt the need to change my name in R-Factor 2. So I know some people do for comedy effect when joining random servers and that sort of thing. It's not something I would do personally, but there we go. Depends what your IQ is or even your mental age.
Wow. I don't
mean,
think there's a link between changing your name in RF2 and IQ, but...
I don't know about that. I've seen some Lewis Hamiltons in the practice server, for example.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Oh my god, is it the real Lewis Hamilton? No.
No, the real Lewis Hamilton is not 23rd. And slower than a bunch of 13-year-olds driving academy cars.
First time I put it in is the last time I put it in. Interesting choice of words. What's wrong with that, Darius? Be right back, going to try not to die, says Mike Bell. I assume he means crash out of the race. Otherwise, we need to ring some sort of support line for Mike. I'm sure he's fine. Interesting choice of words, though. He's also put Mike Bell death prediction, question mark. Perhaps we should use a different selection of words there, Mike. Moving forwards.
Haha, Toby. You were wrong. Wow.
Yeah.
You just refused to admit that you were wrong. I mean, that's a certain level of ego right there required for that.
I'm pretty sure it's Darius Andre. I might be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's Lorenzo Etterovich.
No, is it really?
I think it is.
Oh, my bad. Oh, is it? I thought that was Darius's thingamajig. Darius's monkey.
Right.
Darius. Oh, he's even on the GPV. I don't think he's. Is he? Darius. This is a very stupid game I'm playing with YouTube chat right now. Yeah, Darius Andre. Okay, my bad. You can see the confusion though. Right, my bad. It is Lorenzo. Nevertheless. Who will win race 2? Kanda, Vakuinov, Ockenhaug, or Other is the YouTube poll. It's currently Other is winning with 73%. I think Other's starting from the pit lane, actually, so I think it'll be difficult for him to win. No? Nothing, Alex?
Huh? Sorry,
You weren't listening to my commentary. You know that?
No,
you know
I
this
wasn't.
thing we do every other Tuesday, where we talk to each other back and forth and have like this little relationship going on for
We're
only a
supposed
couple of
to-
hours, where we have to listen
like,
to each other and then bounce off each other. And like,
right, yeah.
you know, one of us says something and then the other person goes, "Oh yes, I agree," or "No, I think you're wrong," or "Actually, that's Lorenzo."
Actually?
Actually.
Yeah, no, I was too busy.
Be nice to see the
looking at
lights
pictures
this
and
time
chats.
round, by the way, Vince. Can we do that?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Keep pressing page down. Is there another camera? There's no camera.
Boo.
Can we go on board then, so we can at least see the lights? That'd be good. Not calling Vince out, by the way. It's obviously weren't to know that there was no red lights visible. Considering this is the first time we've been here in 3 years, difficult to know. Right, the grid then for race 2. Is it my turn or yours, Alex? It's my turn, isn't it?
Yours, yes.
Yay. Shimon Kanda from P1, Bobby Vakuinov P2, and Ockenhaug and Skinner row 2. Frankly, any one of those four could win, potentially. Kasper Koritz P5, Eric Strana P6, Corrala and Patterson 7th and 8th. Row 5, Joe Gillette with Loic Mounier in P10. 11th place is Patrick Magnussen with Matusz Majka, our championship leader, 12th, and alongside his championship rival, that could be spicy, Thijs Jongstra and Damir Karatko for 13th and 14th, and Andrea Kinaya 15th place. Alexander Gonzalez Green in 16th. Egton Pad in 17th with Junior Lopez in 18th. Osama Kanani in 19th place with Flip Chavinsky in 20th place. 21st is Josh Flynn with Christos Philo in 22nd place. Victor Silva and Johannes Leppert 23rd and 24th. Caitlin Penny and Vicentievich 25th and 26th. Falkenhayn and Bjorn Golder behind them in 27th and 28th. P29 will go to Josh Dexter with Mika Hakimi 30th, and rounding out the grid, Brody Lawless and Mike Bell.
That was a grid. And I just need to go to my defense. I was looking at cat pictures, and cats are cool. They are
Cats are cool.
they're much more important to me than listening to Toby drone on.
I have
about
two of
whatever
them.
he's
I
droning
don't
on
know
about.
where they are. I assume one's downstairs in her little bed. Daisy is our new kitten. Mine and Tasha's new kitten. She is now 4 months old, actually. We also have a 5-year-old cat called Petal, who is the bane of my life, but I love her dearly. So
I have 4, so you know.
well, there we go. We just have the two. Do Tash and I?
Well, we've got a 16-year-old, 2 3-year-olds, and a 1-year-old. I don't know. They grow up too quickly. I really don't know.
They do get old quite quickly, don't they? Right, now red lights are on. We can actually see them this time around. We're on board with Okanagan in P3, and away we go. And Magnus actually gets a pretty good getaway. Vakuinov is on our left-hand side here, and through in the front of the field, Shimon Kanda does take the lead from pole position and covers off Vakuinov nicely. Magnus Okanagan holding on to P4 Ekstrana, trying to make it round the outside, and Koritz goes side by side with him as well. And through, in fact, is going to go Koritz beyond Strana, and now slots in behind Magnus Okanagan. But a great start for Shimon Kanda, and made the positions up he needed to. Matusz Majka is P10 currently, and someone's off into the boonies, and we've got more contact.
A lot of people are.
A lot of people involved in that little mini pile-up. I didn't really see what the cause of that was, but Majka escapes, and Magnussen is also P9, making a move there. We've got some more nonsense further back. I think there's a lot of cars involved, actually. It's difficult to say. Vicentijevic, right at the back of the field, obviously was involved. Here comes Vakuinov down the inside of Okanagan, who has potentially lost that. Oh, and through goes Koritz down the inside. Koritz made it 3 wide and sneaks his way into P2. He will fancy his chances to hunt down Shimon Kanda, actually. Kasper Koritz. Could be his opportunity for a win, but Vakuinov sweeps around the outside and has the inside line for the hairpin. Oh, and it's going to be 3 wide. No! Oh, so close. And Okanagan just about survives and holds on, but Vakuinov getting that position back off Koritz.
Yeah, that was a great bit of racing there. Each and every driver trying their luck, late braking to the inside, and it almost paid off for Koritz. Vakuinov, of course, able to hold on around the outside. It seems like Magnussen's got a better start than Majka this time around. I think there was a bit of contact between Majka and Joe Gillette, and I think that's what caused the incident on lap 1. Magnussen to the inside of Jonas Corolla, and that looks relatively tidy, but Corolla's holding it on the outside and will have the slipstream of Ben Skinner, and in fact will try to get past Ben Skinner into the S section here, but was unable to do so, unable to get alongside, and will fall off the back of him. And now it's going to be Magnussen staying P8, and again, Majka also not able to get further up the grid.
Yeah, Majka 11th at the moment. He'll have hoped for a better start than he actually got. Bless me. I had to mute my mic for that. Okanagan battling away here with Koritz. But Kanda's got a 2-second gap at the front of the field, and will hope to extend that on this lap. And Vakuinov, kind of the cork in the bottle here. There's a lot of cars waiting behind him, and Magnussen's being hunted here by Jonas Corolla as they head down into the hairpin. And Corolla brakes very late indeed and tries to make it around the outside, but no. Magnussen holds on to that one. Koritz and Okanagan battling away for P3 as well, further up the field. And Koritz unable to get by Vakuinov right now.
Yeah, and Koritz still just trying to get past Vakuinov at any available opportunity. We saw Patterson as well trying to get past of Magnussen, and people are making the best of the overtaking opportunities they have early on in the lap and early on in the race as well. But it seems like for these top 3, Okanagan, Vakuinov and Koritz, of course, not top 3, but second to fourth, all battling constantly. Koritz tries the inside, but is covered by Vakuinov, so late on the outside, but not late enough, it would seem. Vakuinov with the better braking performance, but Kuritz will have the more ideal line heading into the S section. And yeah, he's able to get past Toby Vakanov, who does have to back out there to avoid what we saw happen in race 1. Magnus Lockenhaug now looks to the back of Toby Vakanov to try and make the move, and perhaps up into the next hairpin. We've seen it's not that great to try and make the move here, but Lockenhaug will look to the inside nonetheless. Slightly late on the brakes. So are both of them really, but Lockenhaug gets past Toby Vakanov, but not without a fight. Now, as he looks to the... someone's around at the back, and that's Tom Part. But we're going to have to ignore that for now. Eric Strand to the inside of Toby Vakanov. This might be
no room
wide.
at all.
And almost no room whatsoever. Oh, no! He gets turned in on. And that's unfortunate. But look there. There's Micah right on the back of Magnussen. Magnussen's in a sandwich between Strand and Jonas Kerala. And... does get past Kerala, but so does Micah, or so will Micah by the looks of it. And, now the battle between the two title contenders is quite literally on the track right next to each other. Eric Strana still trying to fight with Ben Skinner through the last couple of corners. Of course, not really a place for overtaking in that long sweeping right-hander as Magnussen to the inside. Unable to get the move done. Micah goes out a bit wide, but now onto the main straight. It's going to be Micah defending from Magnussen, who's also trying to get past Eric Strand at the same time. Magnussen to the inside. Micah looks to the inside, but does not try and follow Magnussen as Eric Strand late on the brakes and is able to hold off from the Icelandic driver behind.
That was great from Strana. He was late on the brakes and knew he could just sweep around the outside of the very wide entry to turn 1 and hold on to that one. Micah looking down the inside of Magnussen. I just think Micah has just that bit more pace at this round than Magnussen does, one way or another, and obviously both will be trying to finish ahead of the other, but they're next to each other on the track, and this time round Magnussen's just that further bit back from Eric Strana, unable to capitalise on the slipstream quite as much as he would want. And onto the long back straight we go. Micah's got a poor exit though, and Magnussen goes shooting off towards Strana, who's lining up Ben Skinner as well. But Kasper Kuritz is the one at the front of this field, and he's trying to catch Shimon Kanda if he can. It looks like that gap's come down just a little actually over the last couple of laps. Kuritz fractionally slower the last lap around than Kanda, but I do think those two will, at this point anyway, look like the two that will battle for the win.
Yeah, like you say, that gap slowly creeping its way down for Kuritz, and there's still quite a long time left in this race, just over 10 laps, as here's Gonzalez Green on the back of Damir Karatko, and tries to look at the outside in the penultimate corner. Not really a place you see many overtakes getting done, if any at all. Oh, that looked like Svilo into the back of Green, and I think Svilo is around? Question? Where? Yes, he is. That was just a bit delayed. Magnussen to the inside of Strana, and I think this time he will have a fighting chance, but he doesn't get the exit. So he's not able to get past Strana before the S section, and now will once again be in the reaches of Matusz Micah, potentially into the hairpin and along the long straight, although Micah seems to be equally struggling with the dirty air and being washed out off the racing line and off the rubber. So there's still plenty of time left for something to happen.
There certainly is. Plenty of laps to go in this race, and Strana holding a decent account of himself actually in Formula Sprint 2 once again, deputising for a different team, of course. Tuamala not here this time round, as Skinner goes very, very aggressive on trying to break the toe. He knows that Strana's so close to him, but Strana, he can't keep weaving down the straight the entire way down. Strana's enough, he's close enough to gain, and he's pinning Skinner as close to the apex as he can, as Micah makes a move on Magnussen. Oh, that's tight. Strana and Skinner come together, and it looks like Magnussen's going to benefit from that one way or the other. Skinner tries to go around the outside. Strana's still there. I think Skinner's going to hold on, you know. after all of that. And Magnussen's going to try and pick his way past Strana if he can. He's been held up at the apex. This is going to give a possibility for Micah around the outside. It's not an easy overtaking opportunity here. Micah's going to try and make it stick, though. All the way round the outside goes Mateusz Micah and takes the position from Magnussen, although Magnussen's holding on to the outside. What great racing between the two championship rivals. Into the final corner we go. They're still side by side. And Magnussen trying to get the power down. He's run wide and has to slot in behind Micah, but he's going to have the slipstream as they head towards turn 1. Once again, Micah goes defensive. Down the inside he goes. Magnussen to the outside. Micah's going to try and stop it on the apex. Magnussen squeezing him as he can. But Micah holds on. What a move.
Yeah, that was certainly going for a gap that was somewhat there, but had to be made for Micah, and he's got it done in the end. So it's worked out well. But yes, that could have gone badly between, I think, Skinner and Magnussen had there been a bit heavier of a contact between the two cars. But there's, tight margins being played with here. And I think Magnussen just got caught on the poor end of a battle ahead of him. And speaking of battles, behind him, the two priority ones are somewhat going at each other. I can't really tell if they're battling or whether they're, just trying to help each other get along. They do have that 0-1 of Thijs Jongstra behind, but yeah, it just seems like it's constant racing in this section here, where we sort of said it would be the prime opportunity for overtaking. Gonzalez Green fakes the inside on Damir Karatko, and here's a replay of what happened on lap 1, presumably, and that's Mounier, and takes out Joe Gillette and himself. Oh, and Joe not joining quite as correctly as he should have.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happened further up, but Mounier's out of the race, so I guess he just quit. This is what happened to Kanaya. I don't know if that's a bad rejoin as opposed to just being slow as a result of the contact with Mounier. Be interesting to see that on board, actually. Kanaya, we were on board. We were looking at just then. So, what are we looking at here precisely? Kanaya, there's not a great deal you can do there, really. I don't think Kanaya or the Hunter Birch driver. I think that was probably Gillette.
Yeah, just a very interesting incident all around, really. And then
and again Hakimi, but he's got to try to. He's got away with that. He had to try and do something to avoid, and just one of those racing incidents that just keeps getting worse. Right, Kuritz has caught Kanda, so now we've finally got a battle for the lead in this round. Been waiting all evening for one. And it's going to happen straight away. Kuritz going down the inside of Shimon Kanda. And straight away, Kuritz goes through to the lead. I wonder if Kanda's got more downforce than Kuritz, because that looked pretty easy down the back straight for Casper. But round, he's not giving up yet, is Shimon Kanda, as we flick back to Thijs Jongstra. But Kanda does retake that, goes through on the inside of Kuritz, not giving up straight away. And I think that kind of highlights, it must be that Kanda's got more downforce here than Kuritz. Based on that, he was able to hold it around the outside and retake the lead, but it does look like this one is going to be Kuritz's for the taking based on his straight line ability.
I mean, you can just see how unstable that rear end is for Kuritz, who's sliding around through the latter part of the lap, and that rear end very, very loose. But it does benefit him along the straights. Here's Kuritz to the outside in turn 1. Oh, Kanda's not got the greatest of exits as well. Ockenhaug is going to be able to get in on this action, who's going to have a better exit than both of the cars ahead of him. But it's sort of neutralized now as we head into the S section. And that dirty air starts to come into play. And you can see just how much Ockenhaug behind is getting pushed out. Just by trying to follow Kuritz, although he's got himself out of the dirty air and now right onto the back of that Friesland racing car and into turn 10, I believe it is. this little hairpin right here, Ockenhaug is going to be in a prime position to get past Kuritz here. And looking at the top speeds, Kuritz does have 3 kilometers an hour extra, but Ockenhaug will have that slipstream, so this is definitely a battle that's on towards the end of the straight for Ockenhaug, although the gap closing. Ockenhaug to the inside, but just not close enough. It would seem Micah gets past Eric Strana, who doesn't put up that much of a fight this time around. And there you go. That was pretty tidy move for Micah. Kuritz struggling once again with the rear end as we head into the triple right-hander. And you can just see how Ockenhaug is benefiting also from having a presumably higher downforce setup and getting right onto the back of Kuritz through the high-speed sections.
Yeah, that was a very late move there from Kanda to block Kuritz. I think he just about got away with it. But you can see how much more downforce Kanda had through the first sector. He pulled a huge gap on Kuritz and left him vulnerable to Ockenhaug, and then Kuritz nearly caught him all the way down the back straight. So clearly different setup philosophies going on for these two. Kuritz's rear end pinging around. He needs to look after those rears if he's got any chance of fighting for the victory later in this race. But I anticipate that there'll be some toing and froing through the sectors for the rest of this race, but it has allowed Vakuinov to be within a couple of seconds this little squabble that's happened the last couple of laps. And we've also got Ben Skinner and Micah not too far behind at all. And yeah, Micah's move on Strana, I think Eric, a wise old head, he won't mind me saying that, proving to, he used his head, let Micah go, and didn't fight him too hard.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Usama Nani gets a penalty. Christos Filo under pressure by Joe Gillette trying to recover up for the lead. And interestingly, just further ahead, you'll see Ockenhaug and Kuritz in the sort of close positions, although Svilo still under pressure by the Hunter Birch car. Here's Magnus Ockenhaug going around the outside of Kasper Kuritz, takes second momentarily. Micah gets past of Ben Skinner, but is being fought quite strongly by the Team RNG car for P6. Magnussen in the background makes contact with Eric Strana, and neither of them are around. But still, Magnussen not able to get past, and it seems like Strana's putting up more of a fight here with Magnussen than he did with Micah. And it's not easy. Oh no! Commentator's curse strikes! And Eric Strana into the wall at the penultimate corner. Oh wow!
I'd like to see that one back. It looked like he just sort of binned it, but there was no real rhyme or reason for doing so, unless he just got on the outside curbs, which are very, very tight. As now down the inside goes Patrick Magnussen on Craig Patterson, and through he goes in pursuit of his championship rival, who's best about 3 seconds down the road though. And yeah, Magnussen's going to have to do something fairly spectacular at the last round of Brazil if he's going to overhaul the points gap that currently sits here. Here comes the replay for what happened to Eric Strana. I assume he just got too wide onto those. Yeah, he just tobogganed off. I haven't seen that, I haven't seen that for a hot minute in Formula Sprint 2, to be honest with you, at these sort of curbs. So yeah, not ideal. There's Ben Skinner. Oh, Team RNG teammates. Oh no, my bad.
No, that's fine.
It looked like Team RNG teammates from behind, did it not?
No.
But okay, sorry. I mean, they look pretty similar from the back, but that was Micah going through and then giving him no room at all, I think. And anyway, it doesn't really matter. Skinner's back through, so well, I mean, that's closed the gap nicely for Patrick Magnussen, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, I just
tell me those liveries don't look similar, by the way, from the side or back.
They're completely different colours, Toby.
No, look from the behind.
You can easily tell which one's the Optimal because it's orange and blue.
Easily tell. I mean, we are watching on 18 pixels by 4 pixels. It'd be better if we had the scrolly thing at the top. If we had the slidey graphic, we'd know exactly what. Yeah, we'd have known. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Can we have the slidey graphic? He still says no. That's sad.
He's boring. Typical German. Sorry.
I've been told to grow up by Ed Hunter. Thanks for that in the YouTube chat. Anyway, Ben Skinner for Team RNG and Micah for Optiminal, 5th and 6th.
I just... Oh, here we go. Here's a battle. Jonas Kerala, Christus Philo, and the other reading game of Michael Falkenhayn are in close proximity. Kerala, something must have happened to him between race 1 and race 2. Maybe I have bad memory. Here's Micah trying the move he did a lap ago. This time a lot cleaner. Neither of them going off the side of the circuit, and I would say that was a much nicer executed move. Alkenhauer got to the lead at some point. Simon Kanda to the outside. Ooh. Oh, he's going to hold on. Oh, onto those sort of AstroTurf. There's contact. And a bit of squiggly driving, but nothing too severe for now. But Kuritz is now going to be able to get in on the action into the next set of corners. His Kuritz right on the back of Shimon Kanda now. And by the time we get to the first corner, I'm going to say that this is going to be a position reversal for these two drivers of Kanda. Oh, I say that. Kuritz went wide in the penultimate corner and over those, what do we even call those pyramid curbs?
Yeah, they're like very serrated danger curbs, aren't they? They've got them at Hungary as well, and they are a nightmare at Hungary. I know that for surezies. Well, Kanda taking a lot of curb through turn 1, but Kanda is definitely staying in this because of his downforce level. You know, he's able to, you know, hold on in the fast sections and then kind of cling on down the straight sort of thing. As Patterson, it's not been a great race for Priority 1 generally. Kerala down to 15th. Patterson hasn't made any progress since the early lap or two, and he is now behind Magnussen, who is chasing down Ben Skinner, but unable to get that close to him this time around. I think with only 3 laps, well, 2 after this, left on the clock, I think Mike is going to struggle to catch Bobby Bakunov. So it's all going to be about whether Magnussen can catch and get back by Micah for the championship standings. But I think Micah might have that one sewn up.
Well, at this point, yeah, it's looking quite likely, and Magnussen also it is a point away from getting a race ban, but it's somewhat let past by Ben Skinner. Further back, Demo Karatko tries to get past Craig Patterson and ends up in a tussle with Gonzalez Green, who has the inside, and for now gets past Damir Karatko, but he's going to hold on into the next set of corners to the inside, later braking, and is able to recuperate that 9th position. Although still there is Gonzalez Green through the triple right-hander. And on the inside, we're going to go side by side into the penultimate corner. And Damir Karatko gets that move over and done with. I say that. There's contact between Gonzalez Green and Karatko. Micah sets the fastest lap of the race of 52.4. But there's still an opportunity for Green here into the first corner. In that slipstream, Karatko covers the inside. Green to the outside, not actually trying that hard for a move, although ends up alongside that car of the Hunter Birch Racing. Here's Kasper Kuritz as well on the back of Simon Kanda once more, and no position change has been made for P9.
Yeah, battling away for the lower end of the top 10, but I want to see the Kuritz Kanda. Kanda has so much more downforce than Kuritz. He's able to open up a huge gap through the fast S's in the opening part of the lap, and Ockenhaug as well has kind of got away at this stage of the race. I think this is going to be Magnus's to lose over the last lap or so, but Vakunov is there. I did say he might catch this little gaggle, and he has done so, as Magnussen is not that far behind either, behind Micah. And further back we've got Patterson and Skinner side by side down into the hairpin. Here comes Patterson, makes the move, and takes the position. Takes the move, but contact! Craigie boy, what have you done? And pushing him straight is not the ideal thing to do either. And as a result, both Hunter Butchers are going to get him, and that was poor from Craig. He is a better driver than that. Koritz is right on the tail of Kanda as they head into final corner on the penultimate lap. Just one more lap to go, and Okanauk has a 2-second gap. But that was poor from Craig, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's not the level of driving we've come to expect from Craig Patterson, but nonetheless, if Samanani comes into the pit lane as well in 13th, that's a bit strange. Kuritz not able to stay with Timon Kanda through the first corner and falls into the reaches of Bobby Vakanov as well. Micah's waiting in the wings here, but I don't think it's going to be an opportunity. Oh, there's contact between Skinner and Damir Karatko. Although Karatko gets the move done on the outside for P9 and leaves Ben Skinner in a vulnerable position for his teammate Joe Gillette to go down the inside. That's a great little move by both of the Hunter Birch racing cars there to get up into P9 and P10. And we cut once more to Bobby Vakanov, who's only 2/10 behind Kasper Kuritz. So on the last lap, the move for the final podium position into the probably opportune overtaking spot for Bobby Vakanov to the inside. Late on the brakes, Kuritz tries to hold the outside and will temporarily. They're still side by side, and this gives Kuritz the inside into the following corner. Vakanov tries to hold on, but I think he's gone in too deep and lost time to Kuritz. And for the most part, I think that is the hopes for Vakanov getting onto the podium over, unless something happens within the penultimate corner. But it does not seem to be that way for now. Commentator's curse is still very much a thing. We cut to Magnus Ockenhaug, who's got a 2.1 second gap across the line and takes the win for Optimal in race 2. Simon Kanda takes P2. Oh, that's gone wrong on the graphic. I think it was Bowie Kasper Kuritz taking.
Kanda might have got too many points, you know. He might have got too many track limit points and has therefore dropped down because of that. I'd like to see if that's the case or not, but it's entirely possible that he is he's been given a drive through and therefore a plus 30 seconds on the last lap. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so this is, he got a penalty. Okay, so that's why Kanda's ended up outside of the points entirely. So he crossed the line, but obviously by running wide at the penultimate corner picked up a penalty, so that puts Vakuinov in P2, Kuritz P3, and Micah gets a position as well, P4, crucially for the championship ahead of Magnussen in P5. Wow, what a finish to the race.
That feels so unfortunate for Shimon there, though, because, you know, it wasn't as if he was, you know, abusing the track limits there. He went wide, but it was perfectly within his right, just didn't return to the black and white in time. That's unfortunate.
I feel like track limits are track limits, though. They're very black and white. You know, if you're, especially, and it does tell you how close to a penalty you are. He would have known that he was pretty close, and it just didn't need to be pushed that hard. But there we go. Nevertheless, it means Kuritz gets a podium, and considering at one point he was nearly in the lead as well, he'll be happy with a podium in the end.
Certainly, and I suppose it's my turn to go through the race results. It's Magnus Ockenhaug taking the win in race 2 for Optiminal, and it's a good performance all around. Simon Kanda second for ST Racing, and Bobby Vakanov apparently also in second. Oh, right, yes. Kanda got the penalty. It's Vakanov actually in second, Kuritz third, Micah fourth, Patrick Magnussen fifth, Gonzalez Green sixth, Tyson Youngstra seventh, Damir Karatko eighth, and Joe Gillette in P9. Ben Skinner 10th with Craig Patterson 11th, Chris Spilo is 12th, Jonas Kerala 13th, Michael Falkenhayn 14th, Josh Flynn 15th, and Johannes Lepitt 16th. Simakanda would have actually finished 17th with Osama Nani and Mika Hakimi behind him. Mike Bell finishes P20 with Eric Strana, Philip Savinsky, Eek Tom Park in 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Björn Golder 25th, Caitlin Penny 26th. And rounding out the top 30 is Freddie Lawless, Loic Mounier, Victor Silva, and Mihailo Zentajevic. And to finish it off, it's Andrea Shinaglia and Junio Lopez. Both did not finish the full length of the race. And that was certainly an interesting race too, Toby. Started with, absolute chaos on lap 1 and then constant racing. Right to the line.
No, it was. We had a couple of early laps where there was a lot of contact going on, but generally the race was pretty good. And it's nice to finish round 15 on a good note. We've got the Brazilian Grand Prix to finish the season in 2 weeks' time. It will be a battle to the last for Micah and Magnussen, and we'll see who will come out on top in 2 weeks' time. We do have before then we have got Formula Sprint 1 in 2 days' time, Academy on Monday, which is from Mexico, which is nice. And then we have Superlights next Tuesday and Super League next Thursday, all from the Circuit of the Americas. Right, interview time.
Is it really? Oh dear.
Yeah, we'll do a couple, and then I need to get off and go to bed, ideally. Kasper Koritz is waiting for an interview. Let's interview Mr. Koritz. Hello, Kasper. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Nearly a race victory. In the end, a podium because of Shimon Kanda's penalty on the last corner. How did it go for you?
For the practice I did, it went better than I could have imagined. Practice for maybe an hour and a half. And yeah, didn't expect to get P8 and P3 at the end.
Yeah, pretty good round, all things considered. You do have, there's Kaido Koritz in the chat. Is that a relation to you in some way? I assume
that
so.
is my father, yeah.
Hello, Kaido. Thank you for watching and commenting on the YouTube chat. He'll be proud of your round, I suspect.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think he's more nervous than I am, or I was fighting for first. But yeah.
And we've got Brazil for the final round, Kasper. Is that a track that you do well at, do you think?
The last time I raced there was on the F121 game.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, that was an interesting experience. But yeah. Also, I want to congratulate Bobby. I did hit him in the last lap, so I kind of felt bad. But I was willing to give up the podium, and like last second, I saw that. I think it was Kanda, yeah, that got a drive through at the last corner for track limits. So yeah, I mean, it worked out in the end. But yeah, I kind of felt bad, so yeah.
Fair enough. It's been an interesting season for you. You've come through from the Academy Series, obviously got a couple of wins in the Academy Series, and then through the Academy team ended up getting a seat at Friesland. You've had a few podiums this season. Is Brazil an opportunity for you to get potentially just that one more position, get the race victory?
Seeing as nearly, if I'm looking at the standings now, every race that I did get a race 1 podium on, I did practice and like a lot. And since I don't have as much free time as I did during the summer, it will be interesting. I think if I did want to win, I'd have to practice more than an hour and a half, maybe 2, 3. And yeah, there would be a lot of luck involved if I did win, but I'll just try to get some points, see if I can overtake Taras. I don't know if I have. And yeah, just try to finish on a high note, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. You've been flying the flag, certainly for Estonia. I think probably our most famous Estonian is probably Risto Capet, who has been around since 2015 or something like that. Obviously, this is your first major season I would say. Is that right? Am I fair to say that?
Yeah, I think my first race was 2021 when I got invited by some other Estonians to
Mhm.
just do academy round at Singapore, I believe.
Okay.
And then yeah, there was a gap. Then I did one race last year in Hungary where I got killed. So I was like, I can't be bothered. And then this season I was like, I have some free time. Why not join? And then yeah.
Fair enough. Well, thank you, Casper. Lovely to chat to you. Say hi to your dad from me.
Yeah, I will.
Nice one. And speak to you soon.
Yep. Bye bye.
Right. We also have Babby.
Babby.
Bobby
Vakin.
Vakunov.
No.
Who no. We'll bring in Bobby. How's it going?
Oh, hello guys. Happy to be here. It was about a year since my last interview, so I'm very
Really?
happy.
Well, I mean, welcome. You deserve to be interviewed, of course. You had a great race too, and obviously, benefiting from the reverse grid. How did it go for you?
Well, saving tires was a big part of it, and keeping it clean generally. Like both in race 1 and race 2, I was at better pace compared to the other guys around me at the end. When others had no tires, I somehow managed to keep the tires well and be fast at the end. And yeah, my aim in race 1 was just not take any risks and be in a good grid position. And thankfully it worked. Like I could have gone for a move for P10 at one point in race 1, but I didn't. Happy about it. And in race 2, just didn't defend too hard from the guys coming behind. Kept it safe and managed to be fast at the end and be competitive. And a big shout out to Casper, by the way. Proper fair play. Like he hit me just a little bit. It wasn't even that bad on the last lap, and he let me back through. So fair play to him.
Yeah, he's a good guy from what I can understand. Casper Corres. He's had an up and down season since coming into Formula Sprint 2, but
Yeah,
for
proper
sure,
fair driver.
yeah, for sure. From what we can see, he's been pretty fair. Bobby, obviously P2 in the end because of Canda's penalty. I don't know if you've been. What's your best result other than that? I'm having a look at the standings now.
I have a win, but it was a P2 on track with penalties. I got the win after that. So
course.
I might match my result if of course there are penalties. If not, I'm happy with P2. Like it's the best result of this season. Like my P1 was from last season. So
yeah, Canada. I remember. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, in fact, this season that is the first time you've been even in the top. That's the first. You had a P4 at Azerbaijan, P5 at Singapore, but otherwise, it's been one of those seasons, I suppose. But yeah, good to get a P2 here at USA. Brazil, is it a good track for you?
Yeah, I like Brazil. Like sometimes when I like a track, it doesn't go well for me, and the opposite is also true. For example, I absolutely hate Baku. It's my least favorite track of the year, and I somehow got a very good result there. So I don't know how Brazil is gonna work out, but I enjoyed driving it, and I hope it's gonna be good.
Yep, me too. Thank you, Bobby, for joining us.
Thank you.
And best of luck at Brazil in 2 weeks' time. One more we've got. Alex, do you want to do this one?
Not really. Do we actually have one more? I don't think we do. Oh, we have Ockenhaug.
We do. Yes, we have Ockenhaug, which I think we probably should speak to. Mr. Ockenhaug.
Hello.
How are you doing, Magnus?
I'm doing good.
Another victory? Another race 2 victory?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling good. Like before this race, I literally only had 1.5 hour practice last night because I had stuff to do earlier this week and then like last week, and then a small hour today to practice straight after work. I knew that the qualifying was going to be tough given my grid penalty, so I tried to do the best out of the current situation and then try and stay out of chaos and preserve the tires because everyone will seem to be sparing me tire. So I try to minimize every wheel spin and limit the inputs from steering wheel to try and survive towards the end.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously, you've had a race victory before this season, but this is your second one in GPVWC, I think. How do you compare the two?
I feel like both of them are like if I had to choose, like this one I had, I guess, to fight a bit more against because like last time was in the rain, so like overtaking opportunities were like limited, let's say. And I sort of knew, like when I was starting P3, like I didn't expect a race win, but like towards the end, like I knew if I just kept the tires alive, it will come back to me. So I guess that's just what happened.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for joining us. See you in a couple of weeks at Brazil.
Yeah, see you.
So that was Magnus Ockenhaug, our race 2 victor. Alex, sum up then our the round, if you like.
So basically, there was 2 races. Micah won the first, Ockenhaug won the second, so a optimal lookout for wins. And then second race, it was Bobby Vakanov and Kasper Kuritz on the podium. So it was an interesting race in race 2 and quite a few incidents in the middle half of the 2 races, especially with the incident between Josh Flynn and Lopez, where Flynn did some acrobatics and somehow kept his car in visually pristine condition. I'm sure it wasn't when it came to the damage menu. But other than that, it was somewhat tame, it must be said, compared to other races we've had.
Which I don't mind, actually, to be fair. I like a bit of a tame round now and again. It's can be a little bit too much going on in Formula Sprint 2. So nice to have one of those. And I'm going to bed. So thank you everyone for watching. If you are watching, please do comment in the YouTube chat. It's nice to interact with you guys. Thank you, Vincent, for doing the cameras and being a voice in Aria. And thanks, Alex, for joining me. I've been Toby Davis. This has been Formula Sprint 2. And until next time, until then, see you soon.
Bye-bye.